This is going to go through a single arm plank position. The higher I am with my hands, the easier it's going to be. The lower I go towards the floor, the more challenging. I'm going to use table height, and then I'm going to go to chair height. Another great place to do this will be a flight of stairs. So obviously each stair I come closer down towards the floor makes it harder, right? So I'm going to go through this progression where I'm going to ramp up the time with each rep that I do. So if I start off at a table height, and I have my fingers spread nice and wide, I walk my feet back far enough that I feel like my heels are off the ground a little, right? So it's just a push-up position. I want to take my elbows and turn them in slightly. I don't have to jam them in as hard as I can, but I just don't want them to be flared out. So it's a little tuck of the elbows underneath. And I like to make sure my hand is spread out so I'm not just collapsing into my wrist here. I'm trying to keep my fingers wide so that I'm almost like very lightly gripping the surface that my hands are on. All right, so here I am at the table. So I think fingers wide, I think elbows in a little bit, and the next thing I think about is pushing my shoulder blades away from each other. This doesn't come along with this, right? So a lot of people, as they push away, they want to round their mid-back forward. I want to make sure that I keep my shoulders down as I push my shoulder blades away. And I feel like I'm kind of tensing through my tricep, into my lat, into some other scapular stabilizers. Serratus anterior is a popular guy. So here I am in this position, nice and straight, up on my toes slightly. So I'm going to push away, I'm going to shift my weight over, and then I'm going to let go. And you see, even as I'm here, I'm pushing away from this table with my shoulder down. Hold for 5 seconds, and then come back to both hands, kind of reset, reestablish that push away, and then slowly start to shift towards my other hand and let go. 5 seconds. If that's fine, I'm going to come back to the first hand, same thing, reestablish the push away, shift my shoulders over. Now I try 10 seconds, then 10 seconds on this arm, and I would keep climbing until I said maybe I did 15 seconds and I get tired and I say, I don't think I can do 20. Start off with 5-second increments. If you're doing up to a minute and it takes you forever to get there, well, you can change it to 10-second increments. But really you're looking to see, one, does one arm get way more fatigued than the other? And this is a nice test position to see how well you can coordinate your upper extremity to work with muscles that stabilize your scapula and muscles that stabilize your trunk. So other little pieces beyond the shoulder cues are going to be making sure that your back is not sagging. So I keep my butt tucked underneath me. Another thing, just to show you from behind, is that as I release pressure with this hand, I'm trying to keep the rest of my trunk square. So I'm not rotated like this. I have my feet somewhat wide, maybe shoulder width or hip width, or maybe a little bit more. So as I do release, I'm still keeping my upper body and torso in line and square. You can see here an easier version from the table may even be against the wall. From the table, I would do the same thing at something a little bit lower, the chair. So just quickly, wide, elbows tucked in, feet a little bit beyond hip or shoulder width. I push away. I maybe tuck my chin a little bit as well. I shift over, and I let go. Same thing, shift over, let go. And I can even go to the floor, which would be even more of a challenge.